We have attempted to take my Audi R8 out for the very first test drive, but things didn't exactly go as I planned. That little hiccup might have something to do with this. Oh shit. Today, we're diving into what really went wrong and what exactly it's gonna take to get this beast back on the road. It hurt me, but I'm not dead. So I got the car started and I'm trying to work the bubble out. There's air in the system, of course, because we're overheating it. And what happens is the pressure builds up and it's not circulating through between here and there. So there's a bubble somewhere in the middle, or maybe even at the front, because there's 3 radiators. There's radiator here, and there's one here. And now we're ready to get it out because we need this car back on the road. So far, we've been bleeding through here, but that's definitely not enough. So I have taken this side off, and there's more higher points. So when you bleed something, you're looking for the highest point because that's where the air usually sits. I need to take that off to see if there's anything here that I can do. What's that doing in there? That's crazy. We're just sitting there. Yeah. So that's great news. We have more points to bleed. So there's 1, 2, 3. Oh, there's loads of air. Look at that spitting. Oh yeah, it's getting warmer. Absolutely nothing there. Wow. Guys, did you see that? There was, like, for a split second, there was nothing coming out. So we'll just keep cycling from drivers, passengers, middle, drivers, passengers, middle, until there's no air whatsoever. I think we're onto something. Yeah, that's good. This side is good. Right guys, I have spent hours literally trying to bleed it. So yeah, this is what it looks like. I had to take a lot of stuff off, but I have found another pipe. And this one here, it's a return pipe. This is boiling hot, this is freezing cold. So there must be a bubble here somewhere. So I have taken this clip off, and if I do this, definitely full of air for sure. I'm definitely not gonna give up. Engine didn't defeat me. Bit of air in the pipe will definitely not defeat me. I literally spent a full day trying to bleed the system. I tried everything. I tried to bleed it here and then bleed it there, and the main bleeding point was here and here. Like, nothing works. Nothing, literally the car idles is fine, but as soon as you rev it up, it overheats. So I think there's an actual underlying issue. So let me explain my theory. So I have downloaded this diagram, and this is the Audi R8 coolant system. So this is the front radiator, which is the middle, say middle, and this is driver's side and passenger side. This is your engine block, and this is your reservoir, so say reservoir. So bear with me, I'm going to try to explain how this system works. Coolant goes from the reservoir into your thermostat, goes to your pump, into your engine block. After the engine block, it goes through here like that, splits here, goes to your driver radiator, and then goes to your passenger radiator. And then they both meet into your main middle radiator. If this line is open, which is controlled by thermostat, it completes the loop and it flows like that. And it repeats again, repeats the cycle. So what we're getting at the minute is we're getting hot here, but this is freezing cold. So after reading the diagram, it made perfect sense to things that are happening here. So this is boiling hot, that's boiling hot. But here, this pipe here is freezing cold. Another thing was, me bleeding this made no difference whatsoever, because this is actually designed to bleed the system. This goes back to the top of your reservoir. This is the bleed screw. This is the bleed screw. So this line here, this one here, that goes your thermostat, which is this line here, and this as well. For it to go hot, obviously the thermostat needs to open. If the thermostat is closed, it cannot complete the circuit, so that's why it's staying freezing cold. So yeah, I think personally, I don't know, I need to check, I think the thermostat is staying shut and it's faulty. Alright, I'm going to show you where the thermostat is located. Right here. And this is where you actually drain the system as well. So this is the whole unit. I think what happened was, when the engine fell, this is where it hit, this part here. And I think this could have knocked the thermostat. I don't know, we have to take it apart, but before we can take it apart, we obviously have to drain the whole system. The whole coolant system needs to come out. And I have to save it because I haven't bought enough to do 2 runs. So this is what we are fit to save. There's about 23 liters or so, give or take. I'm not sure. But yeah, I forgot how massive this was. I literally had to go and get changed because I just was covered in it. Yes, I'd done this 5 months ago. So that's one way to cool down this sort of weather, getting soaked by coolant. Class. And it was exactly the same. It was pure mess, but it didn't save any last time. So yeah, this time I wanted to save every drop. Okay, now let's get this thermostat off. Oh, this is tight. Wow. This is actually really scary, taking that off. That might never come back again together. Oh my god. This is so stupid. Are you kidding me? This just literally snapped off, like without any warning. Usually you can feel it. This time, nothing, just I think this is plastic, you know? Feels like plastic. So I'm scared to heat this in case it melts the threads in here. I'm gonna try to heat it.
So I'm scared to heat this. I'm gonna try to heat it.
But I don't think you're supposed to heat it, to be honest. This would have been so much easier when the engine was out. I didn't know that was broke. Still don't know if it's broke. Might not even be broke. Oh, it's so tight. One out successfully. 3 more to go. 3 top screws came out, no problem whatsoever. So these 2 are a problem because you can see there's probably coolant and water corrosion. So yeah, the top ones were no problem whatsoever. Oh man. Okay, now I need to somehow tap it and hopefully release this. Wow. Oh wow, guys, that took so long. The thermostat is off, so we can see, yeah, the screws were badly corroded on both sides. That's why it was difficult to take off. And this pipe here is the middle radiator pipe. This is where the cooled coolant comes in. And this is the reservoir. So this fills this area. And this stays behind this area like this. And yeah, so cold should come from here to cool your engine. But the thermostat, I feel like it's not opening to let this in. So this is the troublemaker. And it's mechanical thermostat. It's divided in 2 pieces. So this needs to open at 88 degrees to let the cooled coolant through to cool the engine. And to refer it to a diagram, so this is a reservoir, it goes in through here. So this is the top part. That one that comes from middle of radiator is this part. So this needs to open. Now we're gonna actually test this. He's interested to see what's going on. Yeah. Need some salt and pepper, Mom?
No problem. Onion and garlic.
Onion and garlic, yeah.
This thermostat should start opening at 88 degrees. So this is the point where it should start to respond. As the temperature rises and bubbles emerge, you can see the metal beginning to react. And here we go, we just hit about 90 degrees now, and you can clearly see it starting to open up nicely. That's exactly what we want.
Yeah, it definitely works. Okay.
Now it's fully open, roughly 8 millimeters or so. As the thermostat begins to cool, you can clearly see it slowly starts to close back up, just like it's supposed to.
So yeah, new day, new attitude. And last night, this stressed me out. I'm not joking, this stressed me out so much. Because this thing, like, this part is like 550 quid. And to take this off, it was a battle. Like, it was painful battle. And I was so scared not to break this plastic housing. So this is basically a pump, if you want to call it. There's a pump in here. And to top it all off, we still have to take these broken bolts off. You can see there's actually a metal inserts. So that means that's completely seized. So I have to come up with an idea how to drill these out and how to mount this back on so it has a full seal and it's not leaking. Don't get me wrong, I'm very happy that this works. And the hassle taking that off, it was painful. Yes, it was really not pleasant. In my eyes, I had to check this to make sure this is operational and working the way it should, before spending any more time trying to bleed the system and get the airlock out and all that. It's becoming a challenge for sure. Before I start wrestling with these rusty bolts, could you do me a massive favor? If you haven't already, could you hit the subscribe button for me? And in return, if I find the ultimate money glitch, you will be the first one to know.
It's time to tackle those rusty bolts. First I'm gonna grind off the rough edge to make it nice and flat for drilling. Once it's done, I start with the 3mm pilot hole, carefully setting the path for the final 6mm drill bit. When I was drilling it out with a 6mm drill bit, I took my time. Didn't want to damage the plastic pump housing. Once the holes are cleaned up, and I give a quick wipe around the surrounding area to make sure there's no debris.
Both drilled out and ready to fit the thermostat back on.
Now it's time to fit the O-ring. And after that, I drop the thermostat back in place. Finally, I tighten the screws to 9 Nm. Everything is secured and looking solid, ready for the next step.
Now we're gonna pressurize the system using the vacuum generator, and we're gonna check to see if there's any leaks.
If you haven't seen me using this vacuum coolant filling process yet, it probably means you're not subscribed. So what are you waiting for? Hit that button so you don't miss any current or future projects. Now I'm using the mega syringe to carefully draw any air out from the feed pipe. The goal is to make sure I'm not putting any air back into the system. Any trapped air can cause problems later, like overheating or uneven flow. Here's how it works. The system creates a vacuum to draw the air out. As the air is removed, the fresh coolant is drawn in to replace it. This method ensures that the system is completely filled with coolant and eliminates any air pockets.
Okay guys, so we're nearly there. So that's all there's left, and then these two are empty. All the pipes seem to be back to normal. Well, this one is still quite squished. So we're gonna wait another couple of minutes to make sure everything's definitely been refilled. Okay, I'm gonna charge it one more time. Well, that's it. That should be all filled. So hopefully it is. I have removed everything. It's sitting there. And the other thing we left to do is bleed this now. So the bleeding process is done. Okay, let's start the car and see how it goes. It says to turn to full heat. So let's do that. Here we go. Now it says to rev it at 2000 RPM for 3 minutes. So that's about 2 minutes, another minute to go. I'm gonna need fuel again soon. That's crazy, I haven't even drove anywhere, just idling all the time. So that was 3 minutes, and it says now, let the engine run at the idle until both large coolant hoses to the coolant pipes in the center of the vehicle are warm. So it's been idling for about 5 minutes, but it's still not up to the temperature. It's sitting at 72 degrees, and it needs to be above 90 or so for the valve to open, as you've seen on the test. So we'll wait for another couple minutes. So something very strange has happened. It's been about half an hour that's been idling for, and it's reading about 87 degrees. And guess what? Again, it looked like it was overheating. It started leaking the fluids. So what I've done, I changed the cap to the original one. But this is really tight, so I don't know how that's going to work. If this cap is designed for lower pressure or something, lower temperature, because it just makes no sense. The car is definitely not overheating. I don't know what's going on, so I'm going to just let it idle, reach the temperature. Let's see what it's setting at. 89 degrees. It's saying it's about 90 here. So we're quite close of being at optimal idle temperature range, if that makes sense. So I have good news and a bad news. The bad news is, well, this cap didn't let the engine warm up to 90 degrees. At 84 degrees, it was actually passing through this and leaking onto the floor again. And this happened the first test run. Obviously, I didn't know that was the problem. I honestly thought the car was overheating. But with the computer, we can see that the car was fine. So after I changed the cap, I put the original cap on, the car was idling and maintaining the temperature just fine. But the problem was, this already let a lot of coolant out again. So I think this airlocked the system. So what makes me think the system is airlocked? Well, this middle pipe, which is returned to your thermostat, it was freezing cold again. Even though the temperature was sitting at 95 degrees. And from the testing, we know at 95 degrees, the thermostat is fully open. But the good news is, I do have a plan. Before I can show you my plan, I have to show you this diagram, because my master plan might make no sense. So the key components in this diagram is your reservoir, thermostat, and we know this needs to be at 95 degrees before it's fully open. So I'm going to write this down. And we have the water pump, we have the engine block, we have 3 radiators, and the middle radiator has a bleed screw. And the 2 side ones have return, which goes back into your tank. It bleeds itself. And then we have the return from your engine, which again bleeds itself. And the problem we're having, which I think we have a bubble here, we have a bubble here, and we might have a bubble here. We can bleed it through here. This is a high point as well, and we can bleed that no problem. But what happens is, if the bubble is trapped here, it can't complete the circuit. Even though that's open, it still can't push the liquid because there's no flow. So the problem becomes here. If there's a bubble here, I could try to squeeze this pipe to push it back. But what happens when you squeeze this and you release, it can create suction. So the bubble could move and come back, move and come back. And same here, I can't even physically squeeze it here because this is aluminum pipe. And here is the same. So how I'm gonna fix this? I'm thinking to lift the rear of the car higher than the radiator, so the water will be forced to go to this zone, and any bubbles or any air will have to go back this way. And because the reservoir is the highest point, when that's open, the air will be forced up through this way. So that's the plan. Any other way around, I'm thinking if I lift this up, a lot of air will be still trapped here, and there's no way of refilling this side. You only can refill this side. So let's try and see what happens. Yeah, we need some fuel. I completely forgot we need fuel. That's crazy. Literally all this gone just from idling. Like literally haven't even done anything with the car. That's 20 liters. Right, we got some juice. We'll see how many hours of idling can we get from this. Damn. Oh, we're off the red line again, which is very nice. And then we're sitting at 40 degrees. So I'm just going to wait till it's about 95 and then lift the car up. I'll shut the car down and lift her up and see if I can get the bubble moving. One of my supporters said one of the segments are out, but I think it was just the angle. It's hard to see, but I think it's just the angle of the camera. It can actually trick you a bit. So let's see if I turn the lights off. Yeah. It's all looking good. Literally just the angle of the lens and of the camera can affect how it looks, but thank you for spotting it. Very, very good. Was the only comment that actually told me that it's working or not working. Okay, so it's up to the temperature. So it's sitting at, I don't know why I can't focus, but it's sitting at 97 degrees. So the thermostat is fully open. So let's do the up and down and see how it works. When it's hot, above maximum is ideal. Pause right there. Sorry guys, I'm gonna interrupt here. Something happened 2 days ago, which is a next day after me shooting that video. There was a massive battle that we had to fight inside our tent. There was an intruder called Amy. She was trying to take over my dream workshop. Yeah, so some of you already seen the chaos and the destruction and pure madness that happened in those 3 hours. Yeah, the video was shorter because obviously we're not gonna stand there and film. But yeah, it was mental. It was crazy. But the intruder didn't give up that easily. It was very determined to take this away from me. But guess what? She was outnumbered. There was 4 of us and she was only 1. So we won the battle. We kicked her right in the butt. So how did we win this battle? How did we save this workshop, this tent? Well, there was a couple crucial steps that we had to take, and we had to act very quick. The first priority was to put this cross section in the middle. So what happened when the sides got ripped, both sides, it lost all the structural strength. So the whole tent, literally the whole tent was moving this way. Like the whole thing was just doing that. And bracing that like that stopped it from doing that. And of course, for us to do that, we had to get the car out and get all the stuff on the sides. I had car parts everywhere, getting ready to get the car fixed. So what made it really difficult is the tent was moving so much that way. Every time I put the ladder there, it was pushing me off each time. Another thing that made it very difficult, it took ages to put that strap in, is the fabric is actually strapped really, really tight. Like you can barely move it. And you can imagine it there in the corner. You can't even get your hand in. So that took forever to put that in. So after getting this brace in, we had to do the same on each side of the tent to keep it from moving this way. This is what me and my father-in-law was doing, is getting the tent secure. And then my mom and my girlfriend was packing everything away to get it out of the tent, because we did not know if the tent is gonna survive, because it was so crazy. It was insane. It's something you see in a horror movie, not even joking. In the video, we don't do justice. Plus, we didn't video everything, so we only seen a very small snippet. So as you see in the video, some of the light units have fell and literally ripped it out of the fixture. And I just took them off. I didn't want to put any stress onto the cable, so I just took them off after we finished securing the tent. So yeah, we won the battle, but there was some damages caused. Like anything that was strapped with rope, the rings got completely pulled and tear the whole fabric. Like the whole fabric is teared in a couple places, all ripped here, and then like yeah, a lot of fabric got ripped in multiple places. Some stitching got ripped around here and stuff. And then as you can see, this bar got bent because it was so much force put onto that. It's crazy. And look how much this got bent. Another thing was, obviously there's a battle scar from the ladder, because the ladder was getting pushed into the fabric, and anytime the tent came back this way, it was digging into it. So there's a few battle scars as well on this side. There's a lot of things got bent out of the place, and structurally you can see it's all over the place. It got moved, and my big massive 1 meter pegs got pulled. You can see, look how much the tent was trying to lift. But I have it obviously secured with this anchor screws, you call them. There's few things to take away from that. Obviously this tent was not built to sustain storms, but the storm's supposed to be yellow warming, and then it turned to amber. Amber is 30, maybe 50% stronger than yellow. So yeah, we didn't know that was gonna happen. If we did, we would have had prepared for it. Also, we have questions about the Audi R8. What happened to it? Yes, unfortunately, the shelf, obviously with the heaviest tools, had to fall on it. It fell and it made a dent. So yeah, she got hurt as well. Not just me, not just the tent, the car as well. But it's all okay. It's all fixable. We can manage it. And what did we do with all the stuff? Well, my mom and my girlfriend done a really good job taking everything away. And I'll show you where all it went. Went into this most expensive toolbox. So some stuff went in the boot, some stuff went inside of the car. Like, yeah, so this used to be my daily. If you followed my channel from the day one, yeah, this is what I used to drive, but the starter is faulty, and she's been sitting here since. Another thing was that we had to move is my Jag. Jag usually sits here, and now it's over there, away from the tent, because the tent wanted to go this way. Literally, I was so scared of it's going to damage my car, and we don't want to get this damaged. This was my first project. This is my life, boys. And of course, moving that wasn't as easy as it looks. She got stuck. And that was the first thing we wanted to do. We wanted to move this car away from the tent. And yeah, we got completely stuck. That took forever to push it out away from all the trees. Because look, you see this one? These three wanted to go. So the Jag has survived the storm, and it suits. Can actually sit here. It looks pretty nice. And where did we put the Audi R8? Well, we moved it right here, right beside the house. So it's away from anything that can fly and hit it. She's been sitting here lonely. Unfortunately, she got a bit wet, wasn't ready for this, so there's few exposed places for it to get wet, but she survived. There is a few battle scars, like I said, nothing major, but as you, I don't know if you can see it here. She sustained a wee dent here, unfortunately. And there's a few scratches, but it's hard to show. There's a scratch here. There's a scratch here. But again, it could be a lot more worse. And yeah, there's a scratch here as well. So yeah, nothing that I can't fix. A lot of stuff went inside a shed. So yeah, I'm gonna have to go through and try to find all these bolts and all these nuts and everything. Yeah, this is gonna be fun. And some stuff went inside my mom's house. Sorry, Mom, again. Yeah, everybody's safe. Couple battle scars, but nothing to worry about. It could have been a lot worse. So I'm sure a lot of you guys thinking, what's next? How I'm gonna improve this and what I'm gonna do next. To be honest, guys, I'm not really too sure. I know how you can improve the tent, but the thing is, things sometimes take longer than you plan. For example, the Audi R8, the engine issues, and it took so long. It meant to be an easy fix, quick fix, but it took a lot longer. So yeah, I meant to have the cars finished at this time. This tent should not be here, but it is, unfortunately. It's still here. Amy tried to take this away from me. So yeah, we're gonna have to think of something. But it's not the end of the channel. This wee hiccup, yeah, it hit me hard. It touched my soft spot because this is everything. This is my dream come true. This is our first garage. I know it's a tent, but for me, this is absolutely amazing. And I'm gonna be so happy working in here. What I wanna do, this is what I enjoy doing. And this is where we built this beautiful community that we have.
Looks very nice, but it's a wee tiny bit dark. We can change that. Now the middle, and now the side. Is that looking good? Is that enough light? Looking very interesting.
Yeah, I'm sorry that you had to see and experience the video that you've seen, but this is life. There's no point running away and pretending everything is amazing because it's not. Every journey has its ups and downs. Unfortunately, this was down, yeah, but it's not over. It's not game over. I'm defeated. Feel sorry for me. It was none of that. It was to show people this is being realistic. This is what happens. And this is what it will take to achieve your dreams. Unfortunately, life will test you. And that was a massive test. It hurt me, but I'm not dead. You know what I mean? I'm not defeated. I'm not lying there on the floor and begging somebody to save me. You know what I mean? Okay, enough talking about it. I'm sure it's dragging out. And I just wanted to say, guys, I'm very, very grateful to have your support. It's all about sticking together, working together through things when it's even tougher times, you know? When it's good, like I said, but sometimes you need that extra support. So thank you guys for being here for me. And I hope you're gonna enjoy the end of the video that's supposed to be the end of the video. And I'll see you in the next one. Guys, I have something amazing to show you. This is crazy. So this is what it's idling at, and this is the temperature. Watch this. We'll increase the idle. Oh no, what's happening, guys? Look at the temperature. What is going on? What's that mean, eh? Tell me what's that mean? Ha! It means that we've done it successfully. Oh, she's boiling hot. Yeah, boy, we done it. Yes. I knew we were gonna do it. We had to. There was no choice. Obviously, we had to do it. Yes. So the theory, the silly diagram actually worked well. That was just so you understand what I'm trying to say, but I'm so happy. I can't believe this is it. She's drivable. It's a horrible day and it's dark outside, so it's gonna have to wait. So yeah, I didn't think this is what's gonna happen. Honestly, like it went from overheating, well, I thought it was overheating, and then I was like, okay, Well, I dropped the engine 5 months ago, and the thermostat is on that side. So did I damage it? And that's why it doesn't work. Like, I was questioning myself and thinking, what is going on? But then after testing the thermostat, it was fine. And that was a crucial test because I needed to know, because obviously then I'm chasing the tail that I can't catch. I'm going in circles. But then it turned out that this bad boy was causing issues. This was releasing after 84 degrees. So it's not good. The idle temperature is about 90, 95. So that's never going to work. I fitted this and everything seems to be okay. Well, obviously I had to bleed it. And sorry about the flies. Flies wherever. It's nice and warm in here because it's been running for 2 hours. But then I had to bleed it again. I had to do it differently. And this is the diagram that I had to follow. Very professional diagram. But anyway, guys, look, if you really want to support the channel, please subscribe because it costs you nothing. It's completely free. And if you enjoyed the series, please smash that like button for me. All right, guys, I'll see you in the next one. I don't know if this is going to be classed as the first test drive, but the storm forced me to get the car out. So yeah, I had no choice.
So just gonna go here and back down.
There you go, successful first test drive, I guess. Well, no, of course, it was probably the second one because obviously I had to bring it right round. Put it there.